Continuing our Navagraha series, today we are looking at Chandra or Soma. Chandra is typically seen as the god for mental health, and it's not surprising because the effect of the moon on the tides, on the water absorption of seeds, which is why farmers tend to time their planting of the seeds according to the lunar calendar, and some say even having children, meaning the passage of the sperm. All of this is dependent on the effects of the moon on us. So the moon is our largest astronomical body that orbits around this Earth, and it orbits us around 27.3 days. And was it a planet? Was it always as a moon? We still don't know yet. But in the Puranas and in the stories, there are at least 5 stories about the origin of the moon. The most common story found across many Puranas is that he is the eyes of Atri. Atri is the constellation of the Great Bear. So the Puranas tend to tell us that the moon originally came from the Great Bear constellation, which gives credence to the point that it might have been either a small planet that had skipped the gravitational pull of the suns of the Great Bear constellation. And the Puranas say that when Atri decided to give birth to the moon, there were 10 ladies, and they all tried to hold on to the moon in their uterus, but they were not able to do it, and therefore it dropped from the fetus dropped. And that probably is the story of how the moon moved out of the Great Bear constellation and moved into our solar system. It is believed that the Chandra, he married 27 daughters of Daksha, but he was most fond of Rohini. And because of this, all the others went and complained to Daksha, and he cursed the moon and saying that you're only partial to one of my daughters, but all the others are complaining. And because of this, the moon decided that it's going to pretend to be dead. And the biggest thing that suffered in the earth because of the lack of the moon was the plants, because of the water movement. And immediately everybody went to Vishnu, and Vishnu said, well, what you need to do is you need to churn the milky ocean, the Kshirosagar. And sure enough, as the Devas and Asuras did that with Vasuki as the rope, one of the first things that came out was actually Chandra. And some people believe that this is a metaphorical story which talks about how this churning was a situation where the moon actually collided with the earth once. There was a whole lot of debris, and as the debris cleared, the moon emerged, and that moon became a moon that orbited the earth. So it is said that the Puranas actually knew these astronomical facts even at that point in time. But for us, of course, the moon for a long time has been something that has inspired poets in its softness, and it's certainly something that is important for the farmers because they tend to go by the lunar cycle. And in astrology, in the way we think, the moon is seen as the planet that determines the way we think, and that seems to be borne out by science as well.